All right, everyone, Cinephile Mike, your friendly neighborhood cinephile, is here with the penultimate day of the rest of the Critics' Choice, mostly week. And I figured what better way than to address another movie that was included in this set. Earlier this week, I reviewed Are You There, God? It's Me, Margaret. And for today, I am discussing Amazon's Judy Blume Forever, directed and produced by Davina Pardo and Leo Wolchuk. As of this recording, there's no box office information for me to share on this film, as it was released on streaming platforms. Now, as for its awards journey, I am pretty sure it will not receive any Oscar nominations, as it was not shortlisted for documentary feature, and it doesn't necessarily fit the criteria of the wow documentaries that we've had that have popped up in other categories. But it was nominated for two Critics' Choice documentary nominations, one for Best Documentary Feature, and the other was for Best Biographical Documentary. Also, while not an award set I cover as it is usually more focused on TV, but still a Michael J. Fox movie, which I reviewed earlier this season, was nominated for a few Primetime Emmys, which I referenced, and Judy Blume Forever was also nominated for two Primetime Emmy Awards, one for Outstanding Directing for a Documentary or Nonfiction Program, and the other for Outstanding Documentary or Nonfiction Special. Interesting side note, lost both awards to the Michael J. Fox documentary. But not about whether it wins or loses, it's about why it's here. And Judy Blume Forever is a truly intimate portrait of a writer who has impacted multiple people over the years. Unafraid in her writing to discuss any topic: death, sex, divorce, masturbation, friendship, bullying, love, loss of virginity. The list goes on to cover the 29 novels she has given the world between 1969 and 2015. Now, I listed those topics back and forth with, some positives and some negatives because it's just always going back and forth with her novels and everything that was covered in Are You There, God? It's Me, Margaret, to the Fudge series, to Tiger Eyes, to Forever. She covers every aspect of coming of age to adulthood, primarily focusing on women, but she also has some books that are targeted towards male audiences as well. And she also believes and says in the documentary that little girls should read about little boys and little boys should read about little girls because we all need to live and grow together. Now, while not every book will be touched on, many of the ones that are from her earlier beginnings as a writer in New Jersey. But we follow her through her current life. She is still living and she now runs her own bookstore in Key West, Florida. So if you are a Florida native and you're seeing this, you might be able to catch her at her bookstore. Now, the documentary incorporates various approaches. It has archival interviews, talking heads by various authors, teachers, actors, students, her childhood friends, her own children, and many of the fans who she has corresponded with over the years, as well as incorporating news clips about what was happening in the world as related to her books and banned books. She is one of the top authors whose books have been banned many times over the years, as well as current interviews with the subject herself. Now, one interesting thing about this documentary is how open Judy is. In a way, this openness and innocence is like hearing from a young child without a filter. Bloom even self identifies early in the documentary that she always lives within her childhood. She can recall every event from about third grade on. Now, given the content of her books, this shouldn't be surprising, but it's an interesting juxtaposition where everyone is singing her praises and what she has done for them, but then she will bare herself and talk about all of the mistakes that she has made and all of the ways she feels she holds guilt for what she's done to her children, to her family, to others she's met. And the documentary also digs into the controversial nature of her books when they were first released. There were challenges that switched up with her books, such as Forever and its explicit content, and how it was banned then, and even now in 2024 could still be on a banned book list. Pardo and Wolchuk do a good job moving the film forward and adding the right amount of interviews, both current and old, archival footage, and some great readings of passages from the books by Bloom herself. The testimonials offered from all individuals are truly, truly heartwarming and wonderful. Now, as I said earlier this week, for Are You There, God? It's Me, Margaret, I was not the target audience. And growing up, I was recommended to some of Bloom's books, such as the Fudge books and Is Iggy's House. but they never quite hooked me at the time. However, hearing about the way that Bloom has spoken here about her books, I almost wish I had. Maybe I'll pick one up now. It was great seeing some of the adults revisiting these books that they had as children and seeing some of their responses. The books are still relevant. One of the talking heads even talks about how they are a variant on historical fiction because Bloom painted pictures of what life truly was like then. And in the young adult world, anything more than 10 years old is historical fiction. Judy Bloom Forever is a touching 4-star documentary for me. It was interesting to learn about her life and see how she was not just an advocate for herself, but for everyone. Also, I have not heard of too many readers who take such an active role in the lives of her readers. There were some truly touching scenes where Bloom revisits correspondence from readers who started writing to her when they were preteens and continued those conversations into adulthood. Now, if you are a Judy Bloom fan, you've probably seen this already, or if you are and haven't heard of it, Judy Bloom Forever is streaming exclusively on Amazon Prime. So check it out. See everyone tomorrow for the end of the rest of the Critics' Choice, mostly week. And guess what? Tomorrow's day 48. We're halfway through the season. We're just about halfway to the Oscars. Now, if you like what you heard here, please continue spreading the word. Welcome to the few new subscribers that I saw added in the last 24 hours. You can always follow the goodness here on YouTube. You can follow me, Cinephile Mike, on all social media platforms and compare film reviews with me on Letterboxd. See everyone tomorrow as I finally discuss my number one film of 2023 at the halfway mark. Until then, this is Cinephile Mike saying take a break and watch something new.